Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com, and this is my son Ben. And today we have an old, well-known whiskey here in our cask. It's the Edradour 10 years of age. And, well, I had that a few times before, and I visited Edradour.
Yeah, I think Edradour is the distillery that I visited most.
3-4 times.
Yeah,
probably.
3-4 times. We usually fly from Munich, and from Munich the best connection is to Edinburgh. And if you drive from Edinburgh to anywhere to northern Scotland, then Edradour is just on the way every single time.
You have to leave the M something,
yeah.
M9, I think, and then the small village of Pitlochry.
Yeah, it's just not far away. The distillery is really beautiful. It's very small, and it's just next to a river, and they just expanded the distillery. They have built a new still house with the exact same equipment now. And they last time I met them at the airport, they built. They said, okay, now they're doing the normal 5 shifts at the new distillery, and then they get into 2 times 5 shifts, and they want to
5 shifts
per week, and then they want to increase that to, I think, I don't know, another early or evening shift. So they wanted to increase. They said a good measurement is they had about 100,000 liters of pure alcohol per year, sometimes 120,000, and they now switched to they want to reach 200,000, roundabout, something in between 200,000 250,000. So they roughly want to double their capacity.
The problem with that is they have really small stills. They formerly were the smallest distillery in Scotland, and have 2 distilleries, 2 stills, pot stills with 3.5 and 2,500 liters each. So they are really small. And today there are some craft distilleries out there which have smaller ones, but they do not have the constant production they have, and they now call themselves this small gem something, didn't they?
Scotland's little
gem. That's their name. Their tagline.
It's just a tacky little fun distillery that you can visit and see really first-hand production.
2017 I had been there, and they were just finishing 10 or 11 new warehouses on the other side of the river. And I saw the still house with the new stills and new mash tun equipment in it. And everything is made exactly as the old one, because they want to keep the character of the whiskey stable over the years. So then you were there in 2018 and saw the new distillery already running. And so in 9.5 years, you probably might have the first whiskey out of those new stills. So this one is 10 years of age, has no age statement, has no coloring in it. So this is a real wonderful artisan whiskey made by Andrew Symington.
A traditional Scottish whiskey with a Scottish family behind them.
And the small and old manufacturing process they have. So this is one of the real Scotch single malt whiskies. The distillery was sold from a big corporation in 2001 or 2001 to Andrew Symington, which is also the proprietor of Signatory Vintage, one of the big or the important independent bottlers in Scotland. So they know how whiskey is made and what a good whiskey is. So they then changed the processes they had in former times. They changed the complete staff in the whiskey distillery, so that now these old corporate guys are gone, and they have a small family-based business running.
I like it. It's one of the iconic whiskeys that you have to know if you get a little deeper into whiskey.
So it's priced around 40 euros, dollars, pounds, has 40% ABV, so it's easy sipping for beginners as well. Probably we'll have a look at the taste real soon now. And
Let's have a try.
Have a try.
What I really like about the distillery is when I visited the distillery, you can see all the equipment. The new distillery has a bit newer equipment. All the sizes and everything is similar, but they have a bit more measuring equipment, so they can have measurements on one monitor. And what I really love is their heat exchanger. Usually have just a normal new industrial style heat exchanger, but they have the really old one. It's just tubes through a tub, and they're all bolted into that tub
in an open basin.
Tub. Yeah. And the beautiful thing is they have to clean that, and then they open all the bolts, and it has something like 200 bolts or something like that. It's crazy. I've seen that. Deconstructing was just a pile of bolts.
And the new one?
I'm not quite sure. I think you can still order these. I'm not quite sure. Can't remember.
It's later than Victorian age because it's stainless steel.
Yeah, it's later.
So a wonderful, intense, full, creamy character. Lots of sherry. So this is uncolored whiskey. So this is natural color. You see, it's quite deep and dark. So there's a lot of sherry influence in it. And behind that is, not behind. The fruitiness of the sherry is there, and behind that is vanilla caramel from the casks. So the casks are not the refill ones, but they're active. So it's a wonderful, interesting or rising your interest in that whiskey. So you like to have a sip now. So first you smell.
Yeah, I think also it's quite a heavy, intense sherry one with a lot of grapes and a lot of fruits. But now with the second tasting, I had it before in German tasting. Now I do feel a bit of the vanilla and a bit of caramel. So there's a slight bourbon character. If you've had it a few times and you take it another time, you smell a bit of a bourbon character in there. And on the other smells, it's just a light, very fruity, touchy whiskey. Maybe not that light. Maybe a bit intense as well.
Be careful when he says this has a bourbon style character. He typically means vanilla caramel,
slight bourbon style.
What others mean with bourbon character, they mean corn, maize, and some aldehydes and glue and so on. So not that. It's the pure bourbon cask character, I would say. Not the bourbon character, the bourbon cask character.
Bourbon cask character,
yeah. So there's nothing of a bourbon in it.
Vanilla and caramel is very present in bourbon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, cheers. Wonderfully sipping and intense. Spiciness from the oak, fruitiness from the sherry, wonderful on your tongue, but smooth on your tongue, a little oily, creamy, and most of the taste goes to the inside of your mouth, not on your tongue. And it's friendly, it shows the sherry, but it does not show the espresso from the oak. So it's too young with 10 years of age, and there is no bitterness present in that.
It has a very pleasant sherry character. So it's sweet, fruity, I would say some berries in there, it's like strawberries, grapes, raspberries a bit. So it's really creamy, sweet, nice, easy to drink. But it's missing this character that you have from some sherry bombs where everything becomes so sticky, or sometimes it feels like a bit bushy, or like a clove, like not clove, like felty, something like that. So that's missing that. It's just a lovely forward sherry type whiskey, and in the end now it comes a bit of Good amount of oak in there. I have a bit of an oak character with not bitterness but nuttiness and a bit of a
So
oak.
in the aftertaste, you definitely have this nuttiness from the sherry casks. And this time it's more hazelnut, probably a little bit of a walnut. And then there is, a light sweet note in the aftertaste as well, probably a little bit of honey. And the aftertaste is in your mouth, not on your tongue. So the tongue is quite stable. It's not overwhelmed by all these aromas. Only 40% ABV. So this is really a whiskey for the beginner who has fear for getting burned by the alcohol, but has an intense whiskey. And this is for a beginner because you do not have this bitterness in the aftertaste. You do not have this sticky smell of phenols. And you do not have this massive aftertaste cladding your mouth. So it's a intense but wonderfully sipping whiskey.
Yeah, I like it. It's just fresh forward, sherry style Scotch whiskey. I like it. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Thank you very much for watching. If you found this video interesting, then please feel free to share it with your friends and see you next time.